He's got a little bit of a limp, but congratulations, Frankie, on a huge win in a career full of them. How do you feel about those crazy 25 minutes, man?
We're going to call that a Jersey Shore pimp limp, my man. Johnny, man, it's good to be on the winning side. That was a hell of a fight. Pedro's a stud. I heard a lot of MFers barking that I'm old, I'm slow. I definitely should prove them all wrong. I still got some fight in this tank, baby, and we're going to make a run at 35. He was number 5, and that might put me right in the top 5. 3-weight classes, I'm showing I could compete with the best at 38 years old. I don't want to hear nothing from anybody.
Yeah, I think that this performance will go a long way in terms of silencing some of those doubters, but I have to ask, over 25 minutes, I mean, you look great physically. How did you feel like your body was able to compete down in this bantamweight division?
If anything, better than I was at the other weights. You know, I didn't carry any other weight. I mean, he chipped me with some good leg kicks. I believe I checked a bunch of them, but I'm hoping his leg hurts a little bit too.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, John, when this is done, it's kind of silly that we got to be all far apart. I'm gonna come give you a hug, baby.
I know. I want to come give you a hug as well. In terms of your championship trajectory, a lot of people who listen to you here during Fight Week heard you say, I'm not here to take part. I want to make a run at 135 pounds. And to do that over the number 5 guy in the world, I got to think this opens up a lot of opportunities for you now.
Yeah, man, you know, it's got my feet wet, you know. I think the sky's the limit for myself. I didn't look slow in there. Pedro's a top dog, and that makes me a top dog. TR, baby. TR. We back.
Do you feel you won the fight?
Yeah, without a doubt. I was just right now with the doctor getting some stitches, and then some of my coaches, Dan Lambert, he was just showing me 17 of the media score. The 20 media score, 17 gave me the fight, 17. So only 3 gave him. And also I saw the punchy scores. I had first, third, fourth, and the 5th rounds. You know, it is what it is. So.
Did you feel like, you know, obviously you were doing a number on his lead leg, and while Frankie had those couple of takedowns, he didn't do much with it, so primarily it was a striking battle, but you added in the leg kicks, which he didn't have. Do you feel that was maybe the difference in the fight?
Not even the leg kicks, you know. I was hurting him with the jabs. I chased him 5 rounds, you know. He got couple takedowns, but he couldn't do anything with the takedowns. I got back up right away, and I was looking for the finish, you know. So
did you feel at any point you ever had him in trouble where he might be close to going out?
Yes, a few times, to be honest with you. Not taking anything from him. He's a hell of a fighter. I have nothing but respect to him and all his team. I really feel, and I saw like a few times he was hurt, and he's pretty tough. So he hided that really good, but I felt like, you know, like throw like some cross, some hooks, some couple tip kicks on his legs and on his body. The leg kicks, he was hiding really good. Sometimes I was just fake it that I'm gonna throw the kick, and he was falling, so probably was hurt. And that's the last 2 fights. Both my opponents, he's just left with the scratches. You know, they couldn't walk out of the cage.
How disappointed do you feel when you say you had opportunities to finish them that you weren't able to take advantage of those, right? I mean, will you be critical of yourself when you look back at it that you didn't take advantage of those opportunities?
Not at all. Not at all. He's tough. I just didn't want to go too thirst, try to get the finish, and then he used it as an advantage of him or hurt me and things like that. So I you know, fighting like guys in UFC, we're talking about the best fighters in the world. We're talking about like no warming fights here. Every single fight could be a title fight, and everybody here is super tough. You know, I saw that I hurt him a few times. He wanted to win this fight, so do I, and so it was.
First of all, how'd you see the fight? I mean, did you agree with the decision?
Yeah, it was. You know, I just got asked that by ESPN too. It's like it was a close fight. It's close. If they just said Munchoz, I wouldn't have said, "Oh my God, that's crazy." Either one of those guys could have won that fight.
Do you think this proves Edgar still has a run as an elite fighter? I mean, it was obviously he was struggling in the other division. He gets down here, he looked like he belonged there and was really good.
Of course, yeah. I mean, what's funny is Joe Silva texted me tonight and said, "Remember when Frankie would get pissed at us when we would tell him to move down from 155?" And here he is tonight. But yeah, he just fought the number 5 guy in the world, and you know, he won.
Is this something like years ago? It was, you know, not as hard to do fighting up, but like right now in this era, when you're talking about how many great fighters are in all these weight classes, that it becomes that much harder, and given the competition is that much close, that you couldn't do now what he did then.
100%. I mean, as you look back on a lot of things that happened in the early days, you couldn't do now that you did then. On any given night in this sport, man, there's some tough people out there. Look at Dobson tonight. You know what I mean? She was like a minus 1,500 or something like that, and she came out and fought her ass off and won and looked good doing it. So you never know.
And the other thing I wanted to ask you, obviously Frankie Edgar has proven his toughness over the years, time and time again. But I mean, he was getting that leg chopped up, and it was almost like, you know, he ignored it, even though as much as it was getting beaten up.
He ignored it till the 5th. He got hurt in the 5th. He actually won't be here. He got transported. So I'm sure his leg is really busted up. Yeah, he ate a lot of leg kicks tonight.
In terms of performance, do you think he looked like better at bantamweight than he had done at featherweight?
I mean, listen, the guy's going to be 38 years old in like October or November. To say that he looked better, you know, at 155, 145 or whatever. I mean, the career that the guy has been unbelievable. And the fact that he's still performing the way that he's performing at his age and the wars that he's been through and all the things, you know, that he's accomplished. Yeah, I'd say he looked pretty damn good tonight.
Well, I wasn't going to bring this up, but somebody else already did. I remember back in the day, you guys used to do cross-promotional stuff. Of course, with Pride, you acquired them and everything like that, right? But I've talked to Scott Coker in the past, and he's really game about doing cross-promotional fights. Would you ever do that with an organization that you guys don't own?
With who?
With Bellator.
With who?
Well, we talked about Bader.
Guys, everybody they have in their light heavyweight division, we let go of. He's got the best light heavyweight division. We let those guys all go. It's like the fucking dumbest thing I've ever heard. But I get it. He's got to try to fucking do his thing. You know what I mean? I'm not shitting on him. He's got to try to do his thing. He's got to try to sell fights. And, you know, the way you don't sell fights is like, oh, I got the best light heavyweight division in the world. I mean, everybody that was there was let go from here. It's a pretty silly statement.
Well, Juan Archuleta is a pretty good name.
What?
Juan Archuleta?
Uh-huh.
He's a pretty good name. There's a lot of them. I can't think of them off the top of my head, but okay, I got your...
So what super fight would I make with Bellator?
I don't know. I guess none, now that you give me that answer.
Yeah, it just seems like the UFC chapter is closed. I mean, you were asked at the press conference after your win against Alex, you know, I think someone said, well, are you just completely done with the UFC? And you said, well, I mean, I'll talk to Ali, and, you know, but it just seems like they're not even in play anymore. Is that accurate? Are you even talking to them anymore?
Yes, because, you know, no, everything is good with UFC. Everything's nice, you know. Many years I told, like a fight UFC, sometimes normally, you know, sometimes good things, a lot of good things with UFC, a lot of very good things with UFC. Like 12 years or 14 years with UFC.
Yeah.
Now I think the next step in my career, you know, next step is like a super fights. I want to fight there. Just call me because I'm ready to fight. Maybe the guys call me next week. You ready? I'm ready to fight. You know, this is very important to me because sometimes I don't have a training. You want to fight? Yes, please. Yes, I want to fight, you know.
Fedor would be number one, right? If perfect world, Fedor would be.
Yes, but yes, my opinion, man. He's the great heavyweight in the world, 100%. You know, I respect him a lot. I think the guys lose a little bit of respect with Fedor when he lose, and I don't like that. You know, I like it's very important to respect fighters, man. Sometimes you have a bad fight, but it's not, maybe it's not your day. It's not your day. You know, sometimes happen. For sure, I want to knock out somebody, submit somebody. Sometimes it's not happen, you know. And yes, man, he's, for me, the legend. This is why I give the rematch with him 100%. I told you that the ONE FC, I like this event too. You know, I like, because the respect and the honor with the fighter. This is very